some of the maladies that affect traditional urban churches that I've experienced, and again, I'm using C. Peter Wagner's categories, but one of them is ethnikitis, which is basically the church doesn't change, but the community around it changes, and so it becomes sort of an isolated group that has really not a whole lot in common with the surrounding neighborhood. And so what tends to happen with that is that people get sort of inward focused, and this idea of being a faithful remnant sort of creeps in, and so a lot of people don't see necessarily the urgency of evangelism. They see sort of keeping the tradition and keeping faithful as really the reason why they're there. And I've experienced and I've seen this firsthand in some of the churches that I've been at. And so it's important to try to instill in them the priority of evangelism, and that they have to reach out to those around them. And it might actually take you might have to actually introduce a second service, or somehow keep that service or that group of people together, and sort of alongside them introduce a new service or new outreach to those around in the community. The second malady that I've seen from my experience is also people blindness, and this condition basically is that the church doesn't see the needs in the community, and becomes sort of, again, inward focused and doesn't see what's going on in the community. And I think the way to combat this, or to move the church beyond that, is to actually encourage the congregation to go out and to know their neighbors and their community. I know a pastor that would actually go and to all the different businesses in the area, ask them what their needs were, and if you could pray for them. And that might be a good strategy, and that'll something you should encourage your people in church to do. The third malady that we see is koinonitis, and that's when things become when the group becomes smaller. When you get to that 35 or that 50 members, they become very tightly knit together and very loyal to each other, and to the point that they don't allow other people as they visit the church to actually join the church. And I've been in churches where I felt like an outsider, and I was a pastor. And so that's very frequently what happens as well with this koinonitis. And again, it's about teaching people the necessity and what we're here for. The church is here to reach people with the gospel of Jesus Christ. And the fourth malady that I've seen is what it was called arrested spiritual development. And this frequently happens when a church hasn't had really good pastoral leadership for a while, hasn't had pastoral leadership for a while. Smaller churches that can't afford a pastor, for example, this tends to be something that happens. No Bible studies, or very limited sort of activities and that sort of thing, no enthusiasm in worship. And so these sorts of things happen with this.